Before this video begins, let it be known that this is for a general audience. This can be enjoyed by children and adults alike. Children under the age of 13 can enjoy this video for the Thomas & Friends brand itself, and teens and adults can enjoy this video for its production value and nostalgia. Pop Goes Duncan, based on the Series 14 episode Pop Goes Thomas, written by Traitor Ray.
In the summer, Rusty is hard at work maintaining the Skarloey Railway. Uneven bits of track would be replaced, and the other engines would have to go slowly across them as to not derail and cause more confusion and delay. During this time, the Sodor Scouts, a group of children, would help to clean up the little railway. Every day nearing the afternoon, the Scoutmasters would have their groups taken by train to the Woodland Way, where they would have their lunch, and Peter Sam would come up and bring them lemonade from the refreshment lady. One day, the temperature seemed to be hotter than usual, and Sir Handel couldn't steam.
I don't feel well, it's way too hot. I'm going to stay in the shed, I'm afraid.
Oh no, you're not. When you build up steam, you shall work in the slate mines instead of Duncan, and Peter Sam will take your train.
What? Well, what am I supposed to do today, eh?
You shall do Peter Sam's lemonade run to the Woodland Way.
Oh, bother.
Later, at the lakeside village, the workmen began loading Duncan's trucks with crates of lemonade. He was very impatient as the sun began to rise higher in the sky.
Come on, I haven't got all day. If I wait any longer, my wheels will surely melt to the rails.
You seem very eager to leave, Duncan. Excited to see the Scouts?
Ha! Absolutely not! I'm a plain blunt engine. The only thing I'm excited for is to get this job done as soon as possible.
Rheneas laughed, and the refreshment lady walked over.
Well, I think the job suits you very well, Duncan. After all, you're painted yellow like a lemon.
Bah!
As soon as his trucks were loaded, Duncan puffed grumpily away.
Like, there's another reason why he's perfect to take that train is because he's bitter like the lemon.
Duncan wasn't pleased with his job. He felt rather silly and was very keen to get it over with as soon as possible. As he began to pick up speed, he passed Rusty.
Slow down, Duncan! We still haven't replaced that track up ahead!
Duncan wasn't listening. As his train rattled along the bumpy track, he heard a pop sound go off behind him. It was of course a cork from one of the bottles of lemonade, but Duncan just ignored it. Then it happened again. This time, there were more popping sounds.
Hey? What are those popping sounds? Ah, never mind. Let's just get this job over with.
His crew also heard the popping sounds, but Duncan insisted that whatever the sounds were, they weren't important. Duncan then arrived at a junction. On his left was a shortcut to the Woodland Way, and the tracks were very rigid as Rusty hadn't repaired the track yet. It would have been better for Duncan to continue straight along the main line, even though it was much longer. But he saw Sir Handel coming his way.
If I went down this shortcut, I'm bound to avoid any other engines who would see me pulling this, and make it to the picnic area in time.
His driver got down and changed the switches. Duncan bumped along the shortcut, and in doing so, the popping returned. First a cork popped off a lemonade bottle, then another, then another. Duncan still thought nothing of it. He soon made it to the picnic area. The thin controller was waiting for him.
Right on time, Duncan. Now to unload those crates of lemon.
The thin controller was surprised to find in every truck that all the corks from every bottle of lemonade had popped off and were nearly empty.
Duncan, what is the meaning of this?
I have no idea, sir. I was being careful to deliver the lemonade, but as I rode along some bumpy tracks, I did hear some popping sounds.
Duncan, those popping sounds were from the corks. If you shake lemonade hard enough, the corks pop out of the bottle. In this case, your rough riding along rigged tracks caused them to come off, and now there's practically no lemonade inside the bottles, and they are all spoilt.
Oh.
Duncan no longer felt silly about his work. He now felt rather ashamed.
You'll have to go back to Neptune's refreshments and collect more lemonade, Duncan. And this time, I want you to take care and not rock and roll on uneven tracks.
Yes, sir.
And with that, Duncan headed back to the lakeside. When he arrived, he saw the refreshment lady close by.
Excuse me, ma'am. My delivery of lemonade got ruined along the way. Do you by chance have any lemonade for me to take back to replace them?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Duncan. I'm afraid I haven't any more lemonade.
Oh dear. Now the scouts won't have any lemonade for all their hard work. And it's all my fault.
Then suddenly, Duncan's driver had an idea.
There's a store not far down the line from here. They're bound to have some lemonade in stock. We'll just get more from there.
Oh yes! I'll telephone them immediately!
Duncan arrived at the store in no time. The workers helped load his trucks with crates of lemonade, and he was on his way again. He puffed slowly and carefully over uneven track and took the long way to the picnic area. Duncan was late, but was glad to have arrived safely. The thin controller walked over to his truck and was pleased to find that none of the corks had popped off the bottles of lemonade.
Well done, Duncan. You are a really useful engine.
And when the groups of scouts arrived, they were very relieved to have some lemonade. They ate their lunches, and Duncan's crew joined in and decided to have a drink of lemonade themselves. Everyone was having a great time.
Here, watch this.
Duncan's driver held a lemonade bottle sideways and proceeded to shake it from side to side. Suddenly, the cork popped out of the bottle like a bullet and hit Duncan on his nose.
Sorry, Duncan. Maybe we should have used the corkscrew.
Everyone laughed, and even though he felt cross, Duncan had to smile.
In that episode of Thomas Rewritten, the story was written by Industrial Steam Productions, and it starred Thomas Van 101 as the narrator, Eve Machine as Duncan, LJ Productions as Sir Handel and Duncan's driver, Epic Lavato as Rusty, Queen Engine Productions as Mr Percival, Fantastic Mistress as Rheneas, and Christopher O'Shea as the Refreshments Lady. Sound effects were created by G.W Shunter, TheGermanofSodor, Nathan Bassett, and various sources, and music was created by Donald Shaw, NorrambyBranch, Robert Harthshorne, Q.888, with NWR06's music. Fantastic Mistress was the script consultant. This has been a steam-powered cyborg production. Characters were written by Wilbert and Christopher Audrey, Brittle Croft, His Entertainment, and Mattel.